Alright guys, finished at the gym, back at the house getting the stroller. Alright guys, getting back on the road. This time we've got the baby. Yeah! Alright guys, back at the house, gonna try to feed her with a spoon, which she doesn't really do that often. Then I gotta get her to take a nap. Then, I don't know what then. Probably gonna try to work on the computer and work on the business. Just throw a little bit of this in here, throw a little water in there, and she's thinking she's out at Outback Steakhouse. Alright, you ready? But the baby won't sleep. I left the diapers in the golf cart. I only got 2 diapers left, so we gotta go get diapers. But I don't know why I'm showing you guys all this stuff.
It's streaming and studio assets to Netflix in a deal valued at nearly $83 billion. This is
damn. My buddy Josh just told me this, actually just texted me and said that Netflix bought Warner Brothers, $83 billion. Now Netflix is going to be a giant behemoth. All right, now I'm going to work at Starbucks. I need to get caught up on what's going on with the economy. I don't really have any update. I haven't really looked at anything in over a week. I want to get on my computer and see what's going on. I know we were waiting on the inflation data because the government shut down. So I don't know if that came out, if it was positive or negative. Sometimes it doesn't even matter if it's positive or negative. The stock market moves like in the opposite way of, like, you'll have a high inflation reading and then the stock market will go up. So who knows, but I'm gonna look it up. But I'm still doing my cash flow. I'm still investing in SCHD for dividend income. I just like income, dude. I just want income coming in. At the end of the day, it's like, that's what I can rest my head on. I do like total return. I know that's really, I feel like, all that matters if you're young. Focus on total return, but also be considerate of how much money you're going to lose, you know, if you get too speculative. So make sure you're not gambling. Make sure if it's a dopamine hit and it feels good, it's probably more gambling than it is investing. If it's boring and it's compounding, then most likely it's investing. But dopamine feels good. Boring doesn't feel good. Dopamine does. That extreme fun feeling, the feeling of hope something great's going to happen. Watching a tree grow in the middle of a forest after you planted the seed is extremely boring. Doing life what's boring, and life will be easy. Doing life what feels good, and life will be hard. So the headlines are saying that the inflation reading was light, so it's leaving room for the Fed rate cut. So I guess that's why the stock market's going up a little bit today. I personally love investing for income because when the stocks drop, I'm incentivized to buy more to increase my income, my yield. And when the stocks go up in value, my principal goes up. So it's kind of like my house going up if I have a rental property, the value of the house. Like that internal rate of return. But for me, it's more psychological. It's more the incentive I get when there's negative news. Like, for example, I feel like negative news is almost made positive now in the stock market. Like everybody just twists and turns it and finds a reason for the market to continue to go up. Like they change the narrative. But everything's not sunshine and rainbows. I'm not trying to be a fearmonger, but I'm just saying that our government has insane amounts of debt. The subprime industry has small little cracks showing. Valuations are at not historic all-time highs, but they're actually not, to be dead honest, the Mag 7. They're frothy, but if you really look at the earnings of the companies and stuff, they're not as overvalued as some of the headlines make it appear to be. Yeah, the S&P 500, the majority of its gains is coming from like 10% of the ETFs holdings, but those companies do have a lot going on. I think my buddy and I were talking, and I honestly, what I think is, I think it's more of like, okay, have we ever seen an industry get this much investment without the knowledge of the true profitability of the actual industry? Like how much, like think about the amount of investment that's going into data centers and AI infrastructure, and it's like, what's the profitability of the companies after all the dust settles? But I guess it's kind of like saying like what's electricity going to be used for, and you didn't think of a laptop or a flat screen TV. I guess the data centers and stuff is more of like the investment in the 4.0 industrial revolution, you know? So I guess I can't really look at it like that, but I'm talking about the investments in specific companies, the valuations of like OpenAI, for example. Like, how profitable is it going to be? Like, what's the PE ratio going to be of it? once, you know, when it's a public company. A lot of people don't think about it, but like sometimes like you see these stocks like a PE ratio of 270. You know, it would take 270 years for you to get your money back. Like for them to make the earnings to justify the price you paid for this, for the investment. It's pretty wild when you think of it like in those terms. All right, guys, I'm heading into Starbucks. Check out this R32. I dreamed of this car when I was younger. I wanted this car, but it was way out of my price range. I remember looking at it. I love the wheels that it came with. I love the seats that it had. I still like this. I had an MK3 Volkswagen. I don't know what this is, like this model, MK4, MK6. I don't know that Volkswagens anymore, but yeah, I dreamed of that car when I was younger. I had grown up in Maryland, and in Westminster, Maryland, we had EIP Tuning. I don't know if anybody knows them or is familiar with them, but they were making Volkswagen Golfs. Damn, check out that X5M with the freaking bars in the front, the different color, those brackets. And the X5 or the Volkswagens, dude, they were producing like 25, 30 pounds of boost with those, with the VR. They were putting turbos on the VR6, and they had the 1.8T. I just finished working in Starbucks. I was thinking to myself, I'm thinking, man, I don't have too much to talk about on the YouTube channel because all I'm really doing right now is just buying SCHD and Ethereum. I'm just buying SCHD for income like I've always been, until one day I'll probably try to get back into real estate. And oh, did you see Zillow put out a report related to the housing market? Pretty much like, I think it's like over 53% of homes have declined in value over the past year, or have decreased their price on the MLS. I don't know the data. I didn't look at it. I just saw a headline. But look it up. It was a Zillow report. But what I'm saying is I don't really, you know, it's like I want to talk about investing stuff, but it's supposed to be kind of boring. I'm not really doing anything. I'm just adding to my SCHD when I can. And I'm buying Ethereum right now because I feel like I just like the story around it as being the base layer for traditional finance, the base layer for settlement in the future. Maybe not. I don't know if it is, but that's the only thing. I like the way it's set up, the tokenomics of it, how it has a burn mechanism, and when the network's busier, you'll burn more Ethereum. So I can see the story around it. So I have a little Ethereum and SCHD, and that's pretty much it. And then in our other accounts, I have VOO, VGT, SPMO, and a couple speculative single stocks, but that's just a little gambles for fun. Right now my car's over at the Porsche dealership. It's getting 2 new tires, which are under warranty, so that's free, and spark plugs. The spark plugs is like, dude, it's like $1,300 or something. It's ridiculous. I don't even know why I'm doing it at the dealer, to be honest. But I'm doing the tires there, and they're gonna get the windshield fixed for me too while it's there. Through insurance, it's free too. So, but while it's over there at the Porsche dealership, getting totally stripped money-wise, getting shaked out behind the building, I'm gonna go down to Toyota and look at the Toyotas. I'm gonna get myself a Toyota, and I'm gonna tell Porsche, keep the car. I don't even want to come pick it up. I'll be honest, I don't care what kind of car I'm in, dude. As long as it's reliable and I can cruise in it, I don't even care. I like hearing the turbos, though, I'll be honest. But I think I'm kind of over it all. I'm ready to just keep stacking that income. I want the freedom. I want time freedom, peace of mind. I do not even care about the vehicle. Even though I am a Porsche person and a car person, I know, see, I go through these little things. Then I go home and I turn on YouTube and I see like a video that says Japanese car meetup or something. I'm like, oh, what is this? And the next thing you know, I'm like, oh, I'm bringing a trailer, thinking I need to get an S2000. Trying to find something that could scratch my itch but give me a lot of money. Like, so for example, let's say I sold the Porsche and I sold the truck, and let's just say I was 911 with an aero kit, and let's just say I was able to bank some money, like invest, let's say I could invest $100,000 or $110,000, I don't know, we'll just say $100,000, Like, dude, what is the time value? Like, that money compounded over 20 years, you know, for your kids. It's worth a lot more than that vehicle or me driving around in it right now. So I was thinking about that. And what I was getting at was I was trying to find something that would scratch my itch. So I like turbos. I like Porsches. I like the 2008 to 2010 Cayenne. It has like the Turbo S model has about 500 horsepower, I want to say 550, which is insane in an SUV in 2008 when you really think about it. And then the GTS has like 450, I want to say, horsepower, but it could be a fun vehicle, you know, like just could be a fun daily driver. Like, I started thinking to myself, what if I bought a bunch of, look at that Mercedes over there. What if I bought James Bond? It looks like a James Bond type car. What if I bought just like lower model, older model, lower level used vehicles, and I just drove them until they freaking something expensive was needed. Well, I guess then I couldn't sell it to get money, but and that, you know what I mean? Like, I was thinking, like, what if I drove a 2000, like a 95, like Lexus LX or something, and then like I drive it until the wheels fall off, and then I move on to, I'm like, oh, I'll get an old school Cayenne turbo if I can find one. That's kind of like what I did when I was a mechanic, but it never ends well. When I was a mechanic, we used to get a boot allowance, and you get $150 a year, and the smart guys would go out and get like a really nice pair of Red Wing boots, and I'd go to Walmart and I'd buy like the cheapies, and I'd put inserts in them, like insoles. And then what would happen is I'd end up buying like 10 pairs of cheap boots. I end up, because originally I'd buy the cheap pair and I'd keep the rest of the money. And then it's like you end up needing new boots like halfway through the year, like 3 or 4 times throughout the year. That's probably what would end up happening. Like, I'd have like 3 or 4 cars, or I'd be spending money in repairs rather than having just one, like the Porsche's paid for, you know. Like, but I'll be honest, dude, the Porsche, it is expensive to own these cars. Like I'm looking at this X7. Going by this X7. These cars are expensive. The maintenance, for what? You know, like, I mean, I guess they are really nice, and it's fun to have them, but it's overkill. I don't know, I'm starting to just think like it's like a system set up to just siphon money out of your little personal economy. That's how everything seems to be. Wall Street, you know, like all these different things we buy, Coinbase. It's almost like we're playing against the house, and the house always gets all the money. They're the ones that win in the end. So I'm trying to figure out a game I can play where I don't have to give the house anything. Like, I just own it all. Like, I own the freaking cheapy car. I own the house I live in, which you never owned it, I guess, because you got to pay property taxes. But I'm trying to figure out a way I can set my life up to where it's like I don't really owe anything to anyone. And everything is like at a level where it's like reliable, but it's like bad enough that I don't care if something happens to it. You know what I mean? Like super low maintenance, not taking up any megabytes in my brain. So I got an empty hard drive in my head, and and I can fill it with things I enjoy, and not with a bunch of stuff I got to worry about and manage. Slowing down my computer. I don't want to have to do the disk cleanup on my hard drive. I liked one guy left a comment on the channel a long time ago. He's like, I just do the bare minimum, or I own nothing, and I just like exert the bare minimum energy I need to like accomplish what I need to throughout the day or something like that. Like, just like basically just like don't waste any extra energy on anything that's not really useful to you. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm about to swing through that Toyota dealership in a minute, see what they got. What I'm doing, I'm trying to accomplish my goal. Like, I want to get to $2 million in the stock account, and I want to get to $250,000. Well, $2 million, I mean, in the stock account's like a short-term goal I have, because it's like something I can see ahead of me, like in the near term. But I want to ultimately get to like $250,000 a year coming in dividends or cash flow from rentals. But in dividend income, dude, with SHD, you'd have to have like 12 million or something invested after taxes to get to 250,000. It's insane. But I'm not looking at the amount I would need invested now, because I'm using the yield on cost. Like, I'm using the dividend growth rate. So it's like the dividend, I'm not going to get myself there. Like, the compounding of the dividend the reinvesting of the dividend and the growth rate of the dividend, and me contributing more and more over time on top of that, like, will propel me there. And it's like, it's not like I'm gonna save $12 million, you know, if that makes sense, because the dividend's going up year over year, hopefully continuously, and I'm contributing more to the stock account, but the yield on cost is increasing. If my plan works out, I don't know if it's gonna, and if it does, I'm gonna be like 80 years old by the time it happens, so it probably won't matter much anyway. But imagine if I like put it in, I have like rules set up inside of like a trust or something, you know, and I'm like, I hand it to my kids, I'm like, you can't sell the stock, you can only split up the income. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Watch videos 1 through 952 to understand what I'm talking about. I know if anybody wants to buy the 911, I'd sell it for probably $175 if anybody wants it. I know it sounds crazy, but honestly, the car, like, you go get that car right now, or I paid $150 I think for the car because I bought it during COVID, but even right now that's around the prices you're going to pay for one.
Different parties.
And then the wheel and tire setup, those AL13 R80 wheels with the tires, they're like $20-some thousand. The body kit, go on Tech Art's website and look it up. The front lip is $3,000. It's insane. The body kit's like, probably the total body kit's probably 10 grand. Then the Soul Performance exhaust with the valved one, look it up. That's the one I have. It's like $7,900 or something. The headers are like $3,000. The PPF is the tint, the, what else? I got aftermarket air filters. Oh, the lowering springs and the work lowering it, all that stuff. It's probably, no joke, probably like another $50,000 on top of the car, in the car, plus the time and stuff to do it all. So it's not like, it's not in the value of the car, you know what I mean? 2 brand new tires and a new windshield, brand new windshield. Serious, I don't know if I'm selling or not, but I am serious. If someone was interested, hit me up, because I might consider it if you get me right now. Alright, I just stopped off real quick at the Toyota dealership and just looking out here for fun. I like to go to the back of the parking lot so the salesmen can't get to me, and if I see them coming, I drive off. So here's one of those Land Cruisers. How much is this thing? See what I'm talking about, dude? $73,000. That is insane. I mean, I know it's a nice car, it's a Toyota, but $73,000? Holy hell. 73,000. That's a lot, man. It's a lot. Oh, this one looks nice though. It's all leather and everything. Oh, it's got like brown leather interior. This one's pretty nice though. How spacious are they? Does it have 3 rows? Can't tell. Let's go see what else they got in here. Tacoma. How much is this? This looks like a base model Tacoma. Let's see how much this costs. 40 grand. Shoo! Dude. Man, oh man. Cars are not cheap. I'm trying to find like a 9, like give me something like it's 9 grand, like something like that. You know what I mean? So I can invest the rest. All right, here looks like a Highlander. Let's see how much the Highlander is. There's the Grand Highlander. Man, that thing's pretty nice inside. Looks super spacious. $59,000. So that Land Cruiser is more than this car. This would be better for me with the family. Oh, it's got a 3rd row too. But yeah, dude, this would be way better for me with the family. Is this a Grand Highlander or Highlander? Grand Highlander. But 60 grand, dude. I'm not buying this for 60 grand. Probably super reliable though. All right, let's see what else they've got. There's the 4Runner. I'm not even looking at that. That thing's probably 90 grand. Let's just look at it for fun real quick. That's the TRD. I bet that thing is what do you guys think? 70 grand? Let's see. That Tacoma's nice looking, damn. Let's see how much this one is. Here's a silver one, TRD. 45. That's a little bit better. Oh, that's not the TRD. Oh, I think the salesmen smell me. I gotta get out of here. I think they see me. Oh, it is a TRD. No, this is a TRD. It doesn't have a price on it though. Here's one. Not a TRD. 63,000. Jeez, this is a limited. It's nice. All right, I better get out of here.